Breeding reptiles can be unbelievably rewarding, it can be fun, and the challenge of it is alluring in and of itself. But you gotta ask yourself why you want to do it, and today we're gonna go over the reasons that you should and the reasons that you definitely should not. If you're thinking about breeding, I'm Adam, you're watching Wicked's Wicked Reptiles, stick around. Housekeeping before we start. Thank you so much. We hit 5,000 subscribers on the channel this week. I can't even believe it. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And in the comments section, I counted 127 comments asking, Adam, where can I get one of those sweet Wicked's Wicked Reptile shirts? Well, we're going to launch the store, so if you like something like this or something like this, you can go right here and buy yourself one. They're priced aggressively. I just think it's really cool if someone would want to wear this logo on their chest. And every dollar that I make from these shirts goes directly back into the animals, Littlefoot and her buddies, so that they can have really cool homes, new PVC enclosures, and they can eat. So, otherwise, let's talk about breeding. I think it really comes down to what is your motivation for breeding reptiles? Is it because you want to diversify what's available in your area? Is it because you want to make something and the challenge of it and just the excitement of watching something pop its head out of an egg? Or are you trying to make money? Because all those things are reasons to breed, but the last one isn't a great reason to breed. And here's why. We've kind of have that ship that is sailed. The Brian Barchucks of the world who started 20, 25, 30 years ago, when really not a lot of people were doing it, those are the guys who could make a really great living doing it. And now, if you wanted to do it, you'd have to buy really expensive animals, probably as babies, raise them up. Probably takes about 3 years, especially for some snakes. Maybe a little bit less time or more, depending on the species you're breeding, before you can actually breed these things. And then it's another 60, 90 days or more before you get anything that's a baby. You got to get it to feed properly, right? Then you got to put it out there on the internet or however you sell them and bring attention to these animals. It's not as simple as throw two animals together, make some eggs, and then money just starts appearing in your lap. That's not how it works. It's a lot of work, and I really do suggest if you're doing it for money, look into it, because it's not what you think it is. The extent of money as your motivation, in my opinion, should be similar or along the lines of what was taught to me and what I've kind of taken on myself as my goal for money making. And that is to make my hobby of keeping reptiles free. That's what I want. Yeah, I want to make enough money that my hobby doesn't cost me anything. I can put all the money that I make from breeding reptiles and now from the YouTube channel, and I can throw it right back into the reptiles, right? Have your day job or whatever you do for a career as your fun money and paying the bills. But if you want to be able to have a reptile hobby that's for free, breeding could probably facilitate that, but you're probably not going to get rich. Now let's get into the reasons why you should. If you want to diversify the genetics in your area of reptiles, that is a great option. For example, I live in southern Ontario, the Niagara region, and I go to Toronto to reptile expos. And what I find there, I can bring here and breed. And although it's only an hour and a half away and anybody could go do that, it's really nice that I could possibly supply a reptile shop or just sell independently here so that people don't have to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to go get something that really can't be found anywhere here except for my collection. And sometimes you can make very unique looking animals, which people kind of are baffled, what the heck is that and how did you get that from that pairing? And this is something that's very interesting to me, just kind of the wonder of putting animals together and making something new. Here's a great example. This is Rhyhorn and this is Onyx, and they are siblings. They came from Ekans and Arbok. They came from the exact same parents, but look at the pattern and look at the coloration. Arbok is het for albino, so he does have the gene, and they did produce one baby who is albino this year. And then Ekans, obviously, is albino. What's really interesting, though, is that you can't see... What's really interesting is that these are not albino snakes, but they've got this high red in them, right? And they've also got this weird pattern, which are completely different. This is why I breed reptiles, to make something that I've never seen before, and it's kind of a mystery to me, right? But just because I think that there might be a different gene in these snakes, I can't sell it like that. That's something I want to bring you to as well. Ethical reselling of these animals and making sure that the genes that you're selling are 100%. You know exactly what the genes are, because if you just start adding het to everything, you're just muddying the waters and really ripping people off and taking their money from them, and it's fraud. That's exactly what it is. If you call something a het when it's not, that is fraud. Now, I didn't make this video to be the no fun police, but I wanted to get that off my chest because you see that a lot and it kind of ruins the hobby and makes anyone who's really doing it ethically and honestly kind of look like shady, you know? So just be a good person, be honest about it, and do it for the right reasons. Now, here are some examples of the Payoff. This is a baby leopard gecko. This is for my 3rd season of breeding, and this year, because of the channel, I was lucky enough to sell everything I wanted to sell in a heartbeat and a half, basically. So I put myself in a position now where if I wanted to breed more animals, I could because it's easier for me to sell them. I get messages every day asking if they can buy animals. So this animal I'm going to keep because it's a holdback. That's what we call it when you hold back an animal. And if you want to know why I'm holding it back, well, just kind of open your eyes and take a look at it. This thing is absolutely beautiful. And I know exactly what the genes are in this animal. I do have some mystery leopard geckos, but I don't breed these leopard geckos, like Jerry, for example, or Josie. Jerry and Josie I got as kind of rescues, and, well, I don't breed them, but they are beautiful, and they did come as a pair that have bred before. Here's another example of a breeding pair that I've been trying to pair, but haven't had much success with yet. This is a het for albino female and an albino male, ball python. I love albinos. I love making them. They're easy to sell. You can make enough money from them that your project is free, right? Because you're going to have to buy an incubator. You have to set it up. And I think that's something I want to bring attention to as well. If you're going to breed, just be ready, right? Make sure that your incubator is all set up. You have the medium. You know what you're doing. You know the temperatures. And you've tested the incubator to make sure that it can hold those temperatures. Now, if you breed boas or something like that, which is another really great reason to think they're easier to breed, but they do get bigger, and if you're going to house a bunch of females and a bunch of males that are adults, you're going to need a lot of space, where with leopard geckos, you don't. You can use a very small rack to house 10 animals. Now, I realize this has been kind of incoherent rambling for the most part, and I'm trying to show you some animals just to keep your attention. I just think that it's important to get the message out, because I get so many messages every day. Can I breed this with this? Should I breed this with this? And the answer most of the time is no. If you don't know the genetics, don't breed it. Don't get into breeding because you want to make money. Get into it because you love animals. That is really the only reason, in a nutshell, with all the branched other stuff I talked about, to get into this hobby in the first place. So, if you found a gene or a few genes that you really love, and you know what you're doing, you know what they're going to make, and you can label them properly, house them properly, feed them properly, and overall give them a great place to live in great conditions, breeding might be for you. Of course, I take every idea that I make videos about out of the comment section below. So if you'd like me to make a video about something you've thought of, throw it down there and I'll get to work. If you liked the video, I appreciate a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and go to the merch shop. Buy a shirt if you like. I really appreciate that. Because I do videos twice a week, that means that I'll see you on Thursday.